Hello guys, welcome back. It's Tuesday and it's the webinar day, as you already know, but it was the RBA day as well. So we just had about 20 minutes ago, we just had the RBA rate statement decision, and as no surprises, they hold the rates steady, so they haven't changed anything. But I'm looking at the monetary decision here, the policy decision, and it looks a little bit strange because they been looking at the outlook remains uncertain. So that's what I want to discuss with everyone today. But before we go any further, guys, don't forget that tonight from 5 to 6 p.m. this afternoon, I always get this wrong, this afternoon from 5 to 6 p.m. in Australia time, we're going to be having the webinar, all right? So that's where I'm going to be talking more in depth. I'm going to go in there, show the monetary policy decision, and we're going to highlight, we're going to actually understand how to be able to trade the Australian dollar based on the monetary policy decision or the rates that are to come. We're going to look at the RBA rate track as well and see what are the market expecting for the rates. So there's a plenty of content tonight. So don't forget to join us from 5 to 6 p.m. The easiest way is for you to join the Telegram group. That is a free Telegram group. The link is on the description. You can join. The link is on the description. You can join there. And then soon it hits 5 p.m. we'll send a link for you, and then you can just click it and join us through Zoom. Okay, so I got on my hands the statement by Monetary Policy Board, Monetary Policy Decision. That is 1st of April, of course, and it's the Fools. It's the Fools or something like that, right? I'm not too sure about. But as they just begin as saying that the board decided to leave the cash rate unchanged at 4.1% as no really surprises for anyone, because that was expected already. 4.1, very, very widely expected, anticipated by all the market. But what is really interesting is that they say right on the first paragraph, underlying inflation is moderating. Yes, inflation has come down sustainably since the peak in 2022. I think it was more than 8% or around 7.8 to 8% in inflation in Australia. And now coming down and maintaining a very sticky. I wouldn't say that the underlying inflation is done. It's moderating. I think they've used it very correct, the word moderating, okay? Because there's still plenty to do. Yes, the inflation has come down, has come lower, but it's still not on the range, not on the target range from the RBA, from the central bank, okay? And that they say that the monetary policy is well placed to respond to international developments if they were to move material implications for Australian activity and inflation. Remembering tomorrow or in 2 days, it's going to be the 2nd of April, but I'm not too sure when it's going to be on US here in Australia. But it's the 2nd of April, we're going to have the tariffs from Trump. So it's a very important week. And all the central banks need to be aware of that because as I've said previously, Donald Trump is putting tariffs in pretty much every single country. If not the country, it's putting tariffs on the niche. So automobile industry, pharmaceutical industry, meat services, meat products, commodities as well. So all of the countries will be impacted in somehow. So the central banks need to be actively managing the risk for the society, and that have to be ready to interpret that risk into the economy faster as possible. So that's exactly what the RBA said, that they are prepared and the policy is well placed. Now, it's very, very clear that there is still a very data-dependent approach, and they even say on the second paragraph, the outlook remains uncertain. So private domestic demand appears to be recovering, real household incomes have picked up, and there has been an easing in some measures of financial stress. However, business in some sectors continue to report that weakness in demand makes it difficult to pass on cost increase to final prices. So basically what we're seeing here in Australia is the prices are going up, okay? Inflation is coming down, rates are steady, but again, the business, like the small cafe on the street, the small supermarket, or the guy that sells veggies or something like that, they're having more cost to acquire those products and sell it to the customer, but it's the customers, the society, basically me, Dave, Nathan Bray, everyone, they're not looking to pay $6 for regular coffee. I'm not looking to pay $7 for a coffee, you know? Look at coffee prices, another commodity, huge increase on that. Gold just hit $3,140, just like that, more than $40 increase in less than 5 hours. That's completely crazy. The whole market is chaotic at the moment. So RBA has to be prepared, and business are looking to these and think, we're struggling. I'm not able to put these costs into the final customer. The final customer don't want to pay $10 for a piece of coffee, for the small coffee. So very uncertainty, as they say, the outlook remains uncertainty. And then they talk a lot about more, but they say the last paragraph, sustainable return in inflation to target is the priority. Of course is the priority, and has been since the inflation has been at 8% in 2022. That doesn't change anything. And they will be looking to inflation and the labor market, so domestic demand as well, and the outlook for inflation and the labor market. So let's see what are going to be the next episodes for Australia. I think this is somewhat of good for Australian dollar for the at least short term, and maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours maximum. But I guess we are very on the top tip of shorting the US dollar and continue to long the Australian dollar. And that will be one of the good things, because Australian is saying that they are prepared, they are under control, inflation is coming down, they have projections. So it looks great against the USA that the Fed, it's a little bit more unclear. They can't pass it over the monetary policy with clarity as the RBA just did. So my take here is I'm longing Australian dollar against the US dollar, at least on the short term. And let's see how this trade will play out. I see you tonight on 5 to 6 p.m. If you haven't yet joined the Telegram group, join now. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up. Trade safe, manage your risk, and I see you in the next video, or I see you tonight.